Hi, good morning, everybody. It's Friday. I'm Todd with Bowerly Consulting Services, here to give you another unfiltered moment. You know, the last couple of weeks we've talked about shame and how a negative self-image kind of holds us back professionally, how those negative beliefs we have about ourselves limit us and keep us right where we're at. I talked a little bit about how in the job search you really need to be confident and have some good self-awareness of the value you bring to a company, so that you can have competent conversations with people in order to progress through that awesome hiring process we all love. I want to talk a little bit more about how you develop that positive self-image and what you need to do on a regular basis to ensure that you have that confidence. But first, let's talk about how your negative self-image has developed over time. I know what you're saying to yourself when you read through a job description. You're saying, man, I can't do that. I can't do that. I've never done that before. I guess I better not apply for this job. You might feel like, I can't make any more money. The skills I have aren't of value. They're not valued in the marketplace. And you might have a negative self-image in personal areas of your life. You might feel like you're not worthy of love. I'm a child of divorced parents, and sometimes I struggle with that. Am I worthy of love? And this negative self-image has developed over time, and it's built upon words. It's built upon the words that you say to yourself over and over again. Where do those words come from? Well, they come from the outside world. I have struggled with body image my entire life. Not true. Since second grade. And I can tell you where my negative body image came from. In second grade, I grew up in Scottsdale, Arizona. We were playing baseball. I lived in McCormick Ranch at the time, and we played at some fields that were just south of us, south of McDonald Drive and Hayden Road. There's 4 baseball fields there, and I was on the south. I remember this moment so clearly, and that's why I want to demonstrate to you. I was on the southeast field, and I am pretty darn sure that I was on the north side. I was standing on the bleachers, and my coach came up to me and he pinched my stomach, and he said, "Oh, I can pinch an inch." And I don't think there was anything malicious about it. My family and their family was really close. I don't think he meant anything by it. It might have been, it wasn't being mean. But let me tell you, I suddenly became aware that I was a fat kid. And you know what? I've seen pictures of myself back then. I was not a fat kid. But I felt those fingers on my stomach, and I heard the words. And then anytime someone ever said anything about my athleticism or how much I weighed, I took those words, those outside real words, and I took them and put them in my heart, and I made them my own. And then in my own voice, I repeated those words. And I pressed a record, and that record went and played in my mind over and over again. And that's how I developed that negative image. In fact, I think it became a self-fulfilling prophecy, because I gained more weight as I got older. I became less physically active. I was less inclined to do those things. And it really informed the majority of my childhood and adolescence, this negative self-image. I bet you have experiences just like that, right? We all do. And we make the foolish mistake of listening to those people in the outside world and playing those records. So they were the words, and it was the emotion that came with that experience that helped create that self-image. Guess what? I got great news. I know how to fix it. You need the opposite words and the opposite emotion. And you need to build a new record and get that spinning over and over again. So here's what you do. You take some of these negative these negative self-talk words that shape your self-worth, and you write down the opposite. I'm so fat becomes I am so healthy. I'm unlovable I am worthy of love, whatever the opposite tends to be. And I would try to imbue those opposite words with that emotion again. And then you've got to read it. It's an affirmation. And I know what you just did, because I do it too. When people first talked about affirmation, what's the first thing you think about? Al Franken on Saturday Night Live, right? What was the name? Stuart Smiley, something? I don't know. I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. And gosh darn it, people like me. That guy. You think about that, and it's cheesy, and we made fun of it. But the principle is true. You create this affirmation, and you play it with that same emotion over and over and over. You say it to yourself in the mirror. You make a recording of it. You listen to it on your headphones. You get that record going over and over again. And one day you're going to wake up and you're going to stand on the scale. And instead of saying all the bleepity things that you've said to yourself for so long, you're going to find yourself repeating those new positive words. I'm getting healthier. I'm getting stronger. I'm losing weight. Whatever it is, that new self-image will replace the old one if you keep up the habit of repeating it, those new words with that new emotion over and over and over again. So I would write down your affirmations. I would write them down. I would read them to yourself in the mirror all the time. Or you know what? If you feel really depressed about your job search, if you feel like you're stuck, if you feel hopeless with your job search, guess what? I am writing an affirmation for those that are looking for employment or looking to move ahead with their career. I'm basing this affirmation off of the ideas in The Greatest Salesman in the World, written by Og Mandino. If you haven't read it, it's for more than just salespeople. It has a multitude of scrolls that are built around ideas where you have to read them 3 times a day, and that new image gets adopted inside yourself, and you start to become those new words. So I'm writing this affirmation, and it's covering all kinds of things, like you don't want to wake up in the morning, and you can't stand the application process, and you're nervous and hate answering questions about yourself in interviews. All of those, I'm trying to take them all and flip them to the positive. So I'm writing it out, and I want to give it to you. I want to give it to you for free. If you will promise me that you will read it every day for 30 days, silently in the morning when you wake up, silently after your midday meal, and aloud to yourself before you go to bed. See, we're getting into a habit of reading these words and programming our subconscious mind. And we need to do that in the morning and in the evening, and get a reminder midday. It's exactly what The Greatest Salesman in the World has me do. So, if you're willing to read it, and you feel like you need help overcoming that negative self-talk about your job search, I want to give it to you. How? Connect with me on LinkedIn. Send me a message. Even better, maybe in the comments below. Write your email address. So I have it. I'll collect it. And when it's done, I'll email it to you for free. I'd love to hear how it works for you. I really can't wait. I'll do another video once it's done, maybe in a week or so. And we'll get it up and to you as soon as we can. Sound good? If you're interested in this, if you've liked our conversation, if you appreciate my unfilteredness, I'd love to have you share this video. Like, comment, share on LinkedIn. Come to YouTube, subscribe to my channel, and tell your friends you got to listen to me. If you feel like you should listen to me, that'd be great. I'd just love to get this to as many people as possible. Sound good? Well, I hope you've enjoyed this Unfiltered Friday. Definitely don't want to put my filters back on. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope the message is meaningful. And if you want that affirmation, give me your contact information. I'll send it to you as soon as we can. Take care. Have a great weekend. Bye.